everyone. Welcome to Endpoint Pulse, the go to podcast for everything IT management and cybersecurity. This is Siuli Kingsley, your host, and we're here with another amazing episode on Women in Tech series. And we have someone amazing from all the way from Ireland, actually. And I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. Over to you, Aoife.
Hi, I'm Aoife, and I'm the operations manager in Servaplex, the Irish partner of Management.
Great. That was a short and quick introduction. Great. So, how did you get started with your career in IT? So, was it something you started with, or something
Um,
you transitioned into?
to be honest, I left college in May of
Hmm.
2019 with a marketing degree, seeing the job for Servaplex as kind of
Hmm.
admin, marketing. Kind of knew that it was IT, but didn't ever think that I would actually go
Hmm.
into it, like into that IT section. And I think I think I was there, I started in the
Hmm.
November, we done December, January, and then by February, it was like the world went into panic because
Yeah.
of COVID. We all
Hmm.
got sent home in the March. And then for like 2 years, it was kind of like sink or swim. And I just kind of started to learn the ways and realized, like, the I think the IT industry is very
Hmm.
exciting. There's never a dull day. So we went from kind of being in the office and kind of planning everything to kind of being at home and trying to invent new ways to kind of connect to people. And so, yeah, like when I first finished college, I never thought I'd go into
Hmm.
IT. I thought I'd always go into kind of being a marketing manager or a marketing social media marketing and like the likes of Facebook and
Hmm.
Twitter and but like completely 180 I'd
Hmm.
say from what I really thought. Like if you were asking me this time 5 years ago when I was about to finish college, I would have been like, no, I'm not able, wouldn't be
Yeah.
able for it. But
Hmm.
like, here we are now. So
Great,
yeah.
great. So, what would your typical day in your life look like in Soaplex?
Um, every day is so
Hmm.
different, and I mean that in the like least cliche way
Uh-huh.
possible. But like one day we could be at an
Hmm.
event, our own workshops, our own seminars. Another day we could be at an outside
Hmm.
event, like the digital government conference we done 2 weeks ago, the HeNet we done in November. And then we could be on site
Hmm.
visits, so we could be seeing customers. I remember myself, Sarnik and Harry Priya went up to a customer in County
Uh-huh.
Cavan for a day, and then you could just be doing orders. You do be doing
Hmm.
pricing, like upgrade pricing, new renewal pricing, new business pricing, and then you could just be in Chennai in India for a
Uh-huh.
week seeing manage engine. So like there's never a dull
Hmm.
moment. There's never a hat I don't wear.
Hmm.
Like, if I'm not wearing an event management hat, I'm wearing a sales
Hmm.
hat, and then I'm wearing like an IT
Hmm.
hat. The IT hat now I wouldn't be wearing for long, but thankfully for Sony can get it,
Hmm.
they can help big time. And then so we're also creating new swag, like talking to different companies that are trying
Hmm.
something new, trying to get new ideas, and then upkeeping of the
Hmm.
website, kind of turning out blogs, seeing what's new, what can we
Hmm.
promote. So yeah, like everything from being a salesperson to social media manager to being a event planner to
Hmm.
being admin, and then there's lots of maths as well. So yeah, like a typical day is like everything. Like,
Uh-huh.
you're never bored. I always say that, like, and you never know what you're going to get
Uh-huh.
into. So sometimes you go in and like sometimes when I'm in the office, I'm like, well, what are we doing today?
Hmm.
Like what's in
Hmm.
it today? So it's never a dull day, but I think that's what makes it
Hmm.
exciting. And I think that's why IT is so exciting, because IT, you never
Yeah.
stop. There's never a dull day in
Yeah.
IT, where if you went into another industry, it could be very
Yeah.
monotonous. Where I think IT, you really never know what you're
Yeah.
getting that morning, which I suppose is fun because it, it's exciting.
Yeah, your
That's all
job
I'll
really
say.
sounds exciting. I'm guessing you have fun every single day in your role. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I get to talk
Uh-huh.
to like so many great people. Like if I'm not talking to
Mm-hmm.
Manny, Shankar, David, a part of our team. I'm talking to Harry
Mm-hmm.
Ram, Ravi, I'm talking to loads of different people. I'm talking to Harry
Mm-hmm.
Priya, Nico, so there's so many people I'm
Yeah.
constantly talking to and managing every
Mm-hmm.
single day, and great support as
Yeah.
well from them, and makes my job easier. And, so it's
Mm-hmm.
great. It's, it's definitely something. If you had said 5 years ago this was going to be the role, I probably would have been like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
But I suppose you just kind of
Yeah.
adapt, and then you kind of, I have to say there's never a dull day. And I think that's why it can be so
Yeah.
enjoyable, because like that, it's not
Yeah.
boring. It's never boring.
True.
It never stops, and it's never
Yeah.
boring.
So 5 years ago, did you think this role would be easy, or did you have any challenges when you first started, or any hardships that you faced when you first started, and how did you overcome those challenges? If you could like share your story.
Well, I remember in the interview, Jerry asked me a
Mm-hmm.
question, and he was like, "Are you any good at
Mm-hmm.
maths?" And I was like, "No." And I remember feeling like really like, oh no, I'm not good at maths, and and I really wouldn't have been good at maths in
Mm-hmm.
school, but like it's almost like I put like a barrier up, and I thought, oh, I can't do the job
Mm-hmm.
then. And it's like, no way. You kind of just, you
Yeah.
learn to adapt, and you learn to, you start doing these things over and
Yeah.
over again, and it's like second nature. It becomes second nature. Like, there's no way 5 years ago, if you had said the things I do now, like
Yeah.
the likes of the side of the
Mm-hmm.
maths, that I would say, I know I couldn't do that. So I think as
Mm-hmm.
people, we kind of put
Yeah.
ourselves down before giving ourselves a
Yes.
chance. And I think I also have dyslexia as
Mm-hmm.
well, and I definitely think the dyslexia has held me back a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And this role has kind of brought me out,
Mm-hmm.
because the more you grow
Mm-hmm.
older, and the more you kind of get into the corporate world and the business
Yeah.
world, you realize that like most of the people you're talking to are probably dyslexic as
Mm-hmm.
well, or have their own issues, or have their own
Yeah.
disabilities, or their own problems. And everyone is just human
Yeah.
at the end of the day. So you just need to stop being so hard
Yeah.
on yourself, because everyone is just having a tough time. Like, I struggle with the dyslexia,
Mm-hmm.
and I struggle with the a lot of, in my past, I was underestimated a
Mm-hmm.
lot, and it was told, oh, I don't think you'd be able,
Mm-hmm.
you sure you want to do that? Like, would you be able for that? And I always have kind of something to
Mm-hmm.
prove. And I think, like, in this day and age, like, you shouldn't be asking people, are you able? You should be like, go for it. And it's okay to
Mm-hmm.
fail. It's okay to not be
Yeah.
okay. It's okay not to be good at
Yeah.
these things. So I think sometimes it's your own
Mm-hmm.
person, it's yourself that's almost holds you back, and creates these imaginary
Yeah.
challenges for you. And then I think once you throw yourself into the deep
Mm-hmm.
end, you do have to sink or swim. And 9 times out of 10, you swim, and you just
Yeah.
get over it, and you come to the next hurdle. And I think humans are just afraid of that. They're afraid of that sink or swim kind of mentality. And once you get into it,
Yeah.
it's really not that
Yeah.
hard, but it's daunting. And I definitely do think that's daunting. And if you had said to me 5 years ago I would have been doing this, and if you had said to me 10 years ago when I was still in school, oh, you would have a degree and you'd be doing this, and like, I would have probably been like, no, not me. I'm not good
Mm-hmm.
enough. I wouldn't be able for
Yeah.
that. Like, but you kind of just, I think as you grow older, you realize like it's just the only person that's in your way is yourself
Yeah.
sometimes. So like, it's definitely when you have people, no
Yeah.
matter what their gender are, that's on your
Yeah.
side, it makes the world a difference. It makes the environment you
Yeah.
work in a world of difference.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here, and I'm 5 years in Servaplex in this
Mm-hmm.
November. And I think if you don't have a good support
Yeah.
system, it really shows, because you jump ship and you don't want to hang around
Yeah.
there. But when you have the likes of the team we have, where there's no question is stupid and no answer is
Yeah.
stupid, we're here to help, we're not here to
Yeah.
hinder. And I definitely do agree with you. When you have a nice
Yeah.
team that are always on your side and always backing you
Yeah.
up, it makes life, and it makes the job a lot easier. And that's in
Yeah.
your work life and your personal life and in your home life. You need people in your
Yes.
corner. Life's hard enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't do everything yourself. Sometimes you need a little bit of
Yeah.
help. And I think Tim and Jerry are great for that. And then it's great to have like Sarnik and Keshav as well, because they're our technicians. It's great to
Mm,
bounce problems off them as well, because they're able to give us answers, from a technical
mhm,
side of things, and then we're able to give them questions about
mm.
customers or whatever. So yeah, it's great to have such a good
Yeah,
team, and it's great to have such a good like family unit, because sometimes I do feel like that when it's us in the office, it's very family based,
yeah,
because we can do nothing, you can't say anything wrong, just say it and we'll talk through
yeah.
it.
True.
I think that's
True.
important. And I think management is like that
Yeah.
as well, like, the likes of Shankar and
Mm,
David and Manny and Limina, and they're all like one big family to us. Like they're our Irish Manage Engine family, and we're their
yeah.
Irish family. And then when they come over, it's great to see them, it's great to talk to
Yeah.
them, and they're just such a great support
Yeah.
system for us. And I think they help us do
Yeah.
our job to the best ability every
Yeah.
day. There's never a day where I'm not onto somebody of our team, whether it be David or Manny or Shankar or all three
Yeah.
of them, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. So, what would you consider as your personal career win? Something you look back to and cherish, all the time.
I think I look back at
Mm,
college and cherish college, the simplicity of my life
mm,
back then. The only thing I had to worry about was kind of like, putting an
mm,
assignment in on the time and going to my part-time job. But it's
mm.
also like college made me who
Yeah.
I am today. And like, I think, my college is, I went to National College of
Mm,
Ireland, NCI, and they were such a great college as supporting
mm,
us as well. So I think when I look back, I think that, and I think like getting my college degree was probably one of my biggest
mhm,
achievements. And then I bought a house 6 months
mhm,
ago, and the Irish market isn't great right now. And I think to buy a
mhm,
house at the age of 26 is another great
mhm.
achievement. And I don't think, and sometimes just going to work and waking up in the morning is an achievement in
Yeah.
itself. So I think little wins are as big as are as
Yes.
meaningful as the
Very
big
true.
wins sometimes.
Yeah.
So the sun is shining, it's not snowing now, so that's a big win.
Yes, yes, absolutely true. So, for our very last question, what would your advice be for women or girls in general trying to get into the technology industry or IT in general? Like, what would your advice be?
Um, my advice would be do it, because I think more women need to be in tech, and don't hold back. Just don't hold back. Don't be scared. Don't be like, it's not daunting. It is daunting when you first do get into it. I will
Mm,
admit that, because it is a very male dominant
yeah.
area of work. But the more events I go to over the last few years, the more women I've
Hmm.
seen, the more representation of women I've seen, and it's
Hmm.
great to talk to them. It's great to hear their
Yeah.
story, what they do, and I just don't be
Yeah.
afraid. Like I've said, there's never a dull day in tech. And it's such a great industry to get into, because it's I think it's such a big
Yeah.
industry, so it opens so many different
Mm,
avenues and laneways. You could go down to the social media side of tech, or you could go down to the sales side of tech, or like yourselves, like what you're doing. And
mm,
there's just so many different opportunities that's open. And I definitely think to see more women in tech would be like such a
mhm,
nice goal for the next 5 to 10 years down the
mhm.
line, to see more women in tech, and to also to communicate with more women in tech. When I'm on my emails, when I'm
Mm,
emailing, it's great to see just a complete different, like, a 50-50 diversification
yeah.
of women and men. And it's great. And then I think also women shouldn't be afraid to go to college and study technology, or study computing, or cloud computing, or anything like that. I think
Yeah.
take the leap again, take the leap of faith.
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
not? Like,
Absolutely. Yes.
when I was saying about, when people underestimate you, I think it becomes like a goal, and it becomes your
Mm,
motivation to kind of prove them wrong. And I think sometimes when you underestimate yourself as well, you almost want to prove yourself
yeah.
wrong. And I think it's very important to know that we shouldn't be our own
Yeah.
motivator
Yeah.
negatively. We should be positively motivating ourselves, and we should be saying, no, I can do it, so let's
Yeah.
go do it, rather than, I can't do that. And I think people should do the same in this day and age. I don't think people should put you down and say, oh, I don't know if you're going to be able for that. They should be like, "Do you know what,
Yeah.
do it. If it doesn't happen or if it doesn't work out, you tried it,
Yeah.
you know." And I definitely think that should be the attitude
Yeah.
nowadays. I definitely think there's certain things in my life that people like my dad and my mom have always kind of said to me, if you do it, you do it. And, you know, if you fail at it, you fail
Yeah.
at it. Like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? And I definitely think that was a big thing when I was learning how to drive and when I was going into college. My dad used to always say, fail to prepare, prepare to
Mhm.
fail. And that was his words when I'd be going into
Mhm.
school every morning and college and going into my driving test and everything, all the exams I've had over the years, he used to always
Mhm.
say that to me. And I think that was a nice, like it was like
Yeah.
like a little bit condescending, but it
Yeah.
was like a nice little motivator. He wasn't putting me down. He was like, it's up to you. It's on your back.
Yeah.
You're the only person that can do
Yeah.
this. So if you fail to prepare, well, you got to prepare to fail. And I remember when he'd say that to me, I'd be like,
Yeah.
you know, but like the small things like that, you
Yeah.
know, like dads, you know, and Tim and Jerry are like that as well. You know, they're very knowledgeable like
Mhm.
that. They can give me a lot of
Mhm.
advice and a lot of
Mhm.
motivation, like dad motivation
Mhm.
sometimes. So it's great to have that,
Yeah.
you know. So
I think it all comes down to
um
like having a great team with you. Especially when we're in the IT or tech industry, and sometimes men tend to like underestimate us, but when we have like these amazing bunch of men around us in our teams, I think it obviously like helps to excel more in our industry.
and I went to
Hmm.
Chennai, I seen just as much men as women, and it was great because there was so many of you guys, so many women, so many men, and so many like educated people that had such good English, such good, you know, they were so easy to
Yeah.
talk to and so friendly to talk to. So it was like I want to see a world of like manage engine out there, you know, because there was such a good mixture of
Hmm.
people, young, old, men,
Yeah.
women, they, them, you know, all the kind of
Yeah.
types of things or people you'd see. So I think Manage Engine have a great diversity within their
Yeah.
campus. Is that what we're calling it at this stage? The campus, the
Yeah.
bucket.
Yes. So I think that brings us to the end of this episode. And so that's a wrap on this episode. Until we meet again, this is Yuli Kingsley signing off.